Welcome to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I am Cece Shatz, and you're listening to the Going Solo with Cece Show, and I want to welcome you here today. Those of you that don't know me, I am the Doyenne of Relationship Building. I am a divorce, dating, and a life coach connecting singles through our Going Solo Network community, which is goingsolonetwork.com. You can find all of the information that I do for singles on that site. There are various different sites like Going Solo Community, our new dating site, which is Meet the Right One, and the travel site, Going Solo Traveler. So there's a whole bunch of different sites that you can connect with if that's what you would like to do. So check it out. See if you want to have some fun with us, because we would love to be able to have you. Let's talk a little bit about what our topic is today. We're going to talk about 12 ways to rebuild your life. And you know, when I was thinking about this subject, I came across this article, and it's actually Life After Divorce. And you know, I'm all about that. But it's 12 ways to rebuild your life again. And it's focused on divorce. But then I started thinking, you know what? There are so many times in my life that I think I need to step back a little bit, kind of evaluate my life and the way it's going, the direction that it's going. And then I decide, you know, maybe I need to tweak it a little bit, right? Maybe I need to home in on maybe some areas that are a little bit lacking in my life. Maybe I need to refocus a little bit. So I think we're all having to kind of rebuild our lives, or redesign or restructure our lives as we move forward. And so I thought, you know, that'd be a great topic in which to share with you today. So wherever you're at, whether it be coming after divorce, or whether it be moving forward into dating, a transition of dating, maybe transitioning into a new relationship, or maybe a new environment for work, you know, all of those things where you're making some sort of shift in your life that you're thinking about, maybe it's time for me to really think about my life, the path I'm on, and what I might like to do to kind of shake it up a little bit, maybe make things a little bit different for me. So we're going to talk about the 12 ways to rebuild your life. And I'm going to kind of use this article, so I'll share it with you a little bit. Again, I found it on Everyday Health, and it was written by Noreen DeWorkin McDaniel. And so it's Noreen DeWorkin McDaniel. She is the author of this. And it was written back in 2017, but I think it still stands true here today. So again, you know, this was written for after divorce. So of course, you know, we have the grieving process, right, that we have to go through when we have any kind of relationship loss. But not only a relationship loss, sometimes maybe it's a job shift, right? Maybe it's something that happened in the path of your career that's now taking a shift for that. And sometimes we have to, and maybe a relationship, you know, as far as dating or whatever, a breakup or something like that. But sometimes we have to think about our lives as to where we're at today, right? And think about, you know, we have this, our mindset is where we think about what we want, right? Where we see our life going. We have this path in mind. And then sometimes when there's a shift in that and that changes, it creates it creates almost like a death, right? Almost like an you know, where it ceased to exist. And then we start questioning ourselves. We start thinking about that, and we go through a process of grieving, a process of reevaluating ourselves, reevaluating things around us, all of those kind of things. So I think you have to give yourself space when that's happening to you. Give yourself some grace as you move forward that process. And there's no time period on that, because I feel like, for each individual, it depends on what they went through, how they're coming out on the other end of it, how much more do they have to kind of step into it, right? In order to be able to move through. So if you're making a transition of some sort, allow yourself some time to be able to kind of move through that process, move through that grief of that, and start getting your mindset set for something new, right? A new horizon for yourself. And I think that that's very important, to be able to allow yourself to start thinking about something new that's going to be happening to you. Keep a journal or keep something that's in writing. I wish I had done this. So many people, and I have said it over and over and again, but I don't take the time and the space in order to write things down. And I wish I had. I wish I had written down, not only kind of documenting the things and the situations that had happened to me, but also with the fact that I'm releasing it, right? And so often when you write things down, you release them. So I'm a big list person, so what I want to accomplish, I put it on a list. I do those kind of things to be able to move forward. But I really think a journal is a great idea, because not only is it documenting what's happening to you, you're allowing the release of that. And then you're also creating a shift in your mind as to how you want to progress from that. So journaling is a very good thing. And sometimes when we look back on our lives, I often say, my life and the things that I've had to experience in my life would make an awesome movie. And the reason I say that, I remember one time when, I couldn't afford an attorney anymore. I was going through a horrible process in my divorce. And so I started doing it myself. And so I kept all the records and everything, and I didn't know what was important. So when I went to court, I just brought everything. I had a big suitcase full of stuff, right? So here I am in my high heels and my trying to look nice, and I'm pulling all my stuff I mean, it would have been a hilarious movie. Absolutely. I could have been a comedy. And I think sometimes my life would have been a comedy. So journaling that, putting that down on paper, who knows? It could have been a great book, and I would be a millionaire today. I'd be on a movie. So you never know where life takes you, but it's a great release. It's a great way of letting some of the things out that you need to move forward. Lean on friends is another really great thing. And a lot of these things you're going to hear over and over again that we're talking about, because we've said it before, but sometimes you weren't at the right place in order to hear it, or it didn't resonate with you at that particular time. So you never know when we say the things that we're saying, when we're doing these shows, sometimes we say the same things, but in a different format, that it just catches you at the right time in your life. And it's something that propels you into your next step. And we hope that happens for you. But lean on good friends, find friends. But what I'm saying to you is find other like-minded friends, which is why this whole network started, is because I felt that there's got to be somebody else out there going through the hell I'm going through. There's got to be somebody else that I can connect with, that we can lean on each other to be able to get through. And that's how Going Solo Network was formed. We've now established a new divorce and transition into dating, transition into living your best life as being a single website. It's called Going Solo Community, and our show here today is sponsored by goingsolocommunity.com and meettherightone.com. And so check it out, because you want to meet, not only you want to make new friends, right? You want to keep your old friends, of course, but you want friends that they can lean on you, that you can lean on them, they can lean on you, you can help. Not better way of healing is to help someone else going through what you're going through, right? Because it really opens your eyes a little bit as to what's happening. And sometimes it brings you down to earth a little bit. Sometimes we have this way of thinking that the whole world is just shifting all around us, and we're so overwhelmed, and we're thinking that, no one else has ever felt the way we felt. But then when we meet somebody that is experiencing really what we're experiencing, it brings us down to earth. It homes us, right? It makes our feet a little bit feel grounded. And so it's really great to meet and get with individuals that you can talk to, and they can say, "Yeah, I know exactly how you felt. I felt that today too. Yeah, I totally get that." And so you want to be able to lean on friends. So I would suggest, if you'd like, I'm happy to give you a code to get in. And so just email me at goingsolonetwork@gmail.com. I'd be happy to share a code that you can get in, try it out for a few months, see if you like it, connect with some people, and let's make a change. Let's make a shift in your life. But let's talk about the next one, which is seek professional support. Everybody seems to have a taboo, and I think that's changing, right? I think that's shifting now, about this taboo of having going to therapy or having a coach or anything like that. What I like is that there are different types of support out there, right? So you can get with other like-minded individuals, as you can with our Going Solo community. You can meet and have fun, and also and have that relatability. But you might need some more of that. You might need a little bit stronger professional help. So you could go the next step, right? You could go to a coach. There are many divorce coaches out there. There's many dating coaches out there. There are many life coaches out there that just helps you with that shift, right, that you're going through. And so they can kind of home in on where the path is that you want to go to. They don't concentrate on your past as what you've experienced so much, but what they want to do is home in on where it is that you want to go, because believe it or not, all of the answers that you need are from within, right? We all have those answers, that where we want to make that transition, where we want that path of life to go. But sometimes we are so buried with the muckety muck of everyday living, everyday stuff, that we don't really see it. So sometimes we need a sounding board, like a coach, that can kind of help you through that. Then you might need a little bit more help, a little bit more in depth. Maybe your past has really kind of suffocated you. It's kind of put you in a place where you feel stuck, right? You feel totally stuck in your life. So maybe you need a therapist, and a coach is not a therapist, although there are many therapists that are understanding the realms of coaching, and they're also doing that too. So you want to look towards a therapist that can kind of help you with some of those things that have gone in your past, but they help you create a shift in your mindset to be able to move forward. So go and get professional help if you need it. Many insurances, if you have insurance, will allow for mental health now. So take advantage of it. It's not a taboo thing. It's not something to be looked poorly on. It's not, doesn't mean that you don't have a grip of life. It just means that you want something better in your life, and you're taking action to achieve that, right? You're taking action to achieve what you truly want in life. So don't think twice about using a professional to be able to help you move forward in creating that shift for you that you might need. So that is very, very important. Reinvent yourself. Now, what we mean by that is really start exploring new things in your horizon. Think about what it is that maybe you wanted to do, that brings you joy. I have a lot of friends that have now started, um, you know, playing the piano. Some are acting. Some have gone into comedy. Some have taken up sculpture, painting. They've really gone into the arts quite a bit. I myself went into this. I mean, who would have thought I'd be doing what I'm doing now, right? And I'm loving every minute of it. So start reinventing yourself. Start thinking about maybe what it is that you might like to do in the future that would bring you joy. And then start going to a class or go online. I mean, YouTube is a great place. You can find anything you want on there. So just Google it, go online, and start checking it out. But what will happen is, when you start doing that, when you start focusing on things that you really enjoy doing, it uplifts you, right? It puts your vibration in a higher level, and it starts bringing you much peace and joy within your life. And then others around you see that, feel that, and they want to be close to you. So that creates a great shift in your life. So start reinventing yourself. If you need to maybe go and make some money and do something different, right? Think about maybe some different jobs that maybe you'd like to explore, something you haven't done before. Be creative in what you've done. A lot of people can do, I know many that have gone into consulting and various coaches, and think coaches are almost consultants, aren't they? But they, various different fields of walks of employment, because they want to do something a little bit different. They want to step out of the rim. They need to make some money, right? But they also don't want to be in a dead end, and not necessarily money wise, but they don't want to be in a position where they feel like they're not using their full potential. Because nothing better in life is to feel like you've actually you're giving back to the world, right? You're giving back to the universe, and you're living your full self. And so there's nothing better than that. So think about reinventing yourself. Take some of the things that I had talked about and think about it. Make new friends. I think we often don't think about that because we want to kind of, a lot of times we feel betrayed, right? As we move through a relationship loss of some sort, we lose a lot of friends, and then we think to ourselves, I thought they were a friend, right? How can they not do that? But here's the thing. When we are moving forward in our lives, each person that we meet, right? They're there for what are that old saying where they're there for a season, a reason, a season, that kind of thing. And so, but we learn something from every person that we meet, everyone that comes within our arena, within our space of time. We learn something from them. I cannot tell you how much my friends have given to me, and they don't even know it. They have not a clue of what I have learned from them. So we want to continuously explore our horizon on friendships. Now, that doesn't mean that it has to be somebody that's glued to your side, or that you have to divulge all of your confidences to. It's nice to have someone like that. It's nice to have a partnership like that with someone, but it does mean that every person that you embrace, you learn something from. And guess what? They learn something from you. So making friends and moving out and practicing getting yourself out more and more and more, opening your horizon opens the doors for you in many, many ways. It gives you self-confidence, right? It empowers you tremendously. You learn various different techniques and things like that from your other friends, right? It gives you joy and laughter, and it creates your mind to be able to be on a different horizon. So making friends is very, very important. So you want to continue to do that throughout your life, and that will help you. The other thing, I'm going to save this one here for last because I think that is the very last thing that we need to do. Let's get back in our groove. And what we mean that by that is, have you ever met someone that is so exciting, right? And you look at them and you think, boy, I wish I was like them, right? They look at life a little bit different. They look at life as an experience, as something that's the door is open and we're going to walk through it, right? So get in your groove. Figure out what it is that you want to do. Start creating, and I think they had this on another list, so this will be shorting the list. But create your bucket list, right? Create what makes you happy. And so often we live our lives through other people. Let's not do that. Let's live our own life, right? Let's create a groove that we enjoy, we enjoy doing. And as you're moving forward, and I wanted to just say this just briefly, as you're moving forward in your transition of living your best life, get a little bit of a routine set for yourself so that you feel a little bit secure each step of the way. And do it in baby steps, right? I love that. Andrea, my good friend Andrea, I'll never forget that she always shared that with us. Do baby steps. And the reason you want to do that is because you want to savor the experience of life. We don't want to go speeding through it. God knows, especially now that I'm older, I think, can you believe we're already in, half the year's already over, better than half the year's already over with. It speeds by. We don't need to speed it up, right? So savor it, enjoy it, live in it, get in your groove and really like what you're doing. Surround yourself with people that love to be with you and you love to be with them, right? Learn something from them. Pick up a new hobby that you enjoy, that you've always thought about doing that you never did before, gardening or playing the piano, or for me it would be this kind of, I'm learning, trying to learn marketing, trying to get out there a little bit more and making sure that everyone that needs to hear these shows are hearing it, right? That they know that we're available here for them. And so learn what makes you tick, right? And get in your groove to be able to do that and to move forward. Then the next thing is, we talked about taking it slow, baby steps. You want to savor your moments, right? But not only saving your moments and baby steps, but you also want to evaluate where you're at. And is this truly the direction you want to go? Because so often we'll start taking a few steps down the road and we'll think, whoa, wait a minute, I'm not sure if this is truly what I want in my life. And hallelujah for that. That is great that you're actually thinking about it and you're thinking of the direction you want to go. What is that Star Trek saying? Go boldly where no man has gone before, right? Go boldly. That's why we started the Bold Network, right? We want you to feel like you can go boldly into whatever direction that you want to do. But you want to also think about as you're going boldly. You want to take, a breather. You want to step back, evaluate, and maybe create a little shift if you need to take a step sideways, or if you're deciding, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to go all the way with this. The next one is your finances. There's nothing more disheartening and making you feel insecure when you don't know where in the hell your money's going, right? I mean, I have been there, done that. I have the t-shirt. I probably got a drawer full of them. Okay. It's like, I never know sometimes with, you plan for something and the economy goes crazy and things start happening and you're spending money out of control and you're not realizing what you need to do. Money is just a vehicle. It's really nothing. It's nothing more than that. So we put too much emphasis on money. I think we need to put more emphasis on living our life to the best that we can live it, right? Helping our our friends out, our mankind out, helping other people to be able to move forward in their lives and helping them. So, I think it's very important that we need to step back and evaluate our finances, figure out where they are, where we're going, get some control back in our lives, making us feel a little bit like that we're not swinging out of control all the time. So our finances are very important because we cannot live without money here. We just cannot do it. It's like I'm from Florida, being in Florida and trying to live without a car. Holy smokes, how can we live without a car? I mean, it's just not possible doing that. So we must know where our finances are. And I'm the world's worst, so I'm not going to get on my soapbox and preach to you about it. But I will tell you that you will feel more in control with yourself if you take the time to be able to know where your finances are, where you want to go, what you want to do with it. And also use your finances to enjoy life a little bit. A lot of friends I know that they hold on to their money to where it's almost a suffocation and they don't enjoy life, right? Don't do that. Enjoy your life. You know, I'm all for leaving your children something. I'm all for doing that, helping them being able to live their life. I would rather, myself personally, help my children now, knowing that they're starting to build a life together. They're starting to move forward in their lives and they're creating something, than to wait years after, and I finally die, and then they're thinking, thank God she's dead, so I can I can now do something a little bit with her funding. I hate to say that. My ex's mother was like that. I mean, hold tight to that little dime, but not help her family out. And it's like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about that? So money is a vehicle, right? And it's one that does give us a sense of security. So we do need to know where it is, but don't let that money that vehicle strangle you. That's the only thing I'm saying about that. And there are plenty of people out there. There's websites out there. There's tons of things out there that can help you. Talked about your bucket list. Let's start making one. Let's start in not only making the list, but let's start enjoying life, doing the list. Let's start with small things that we can enjoy, right? That we can do, that we can afford, that we can move forward in. And let's start living life, right? Because so often we think about the future, and believe it or not, sometimes the future slips away from us because of time, that we're not able to do it. My father told me years ago that if he had known my mother was going to pass at a very early age, he would have done a lot more with her. Now, he did a lot with her. Don't get me wrong. They shared a lot of experiences, and I probably should take a show and share all the fun things that they used to do. But he would have done a lot more had he known that she wasn't going to be here. So don't live your life thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow. Live your life today the best way you can, right? Enjoy your life and celebrate it and live the best that you can. Let's talk a little bit about celebrating that you're single. And I don't think we do that enough when we are single. We think almost sometimes it's a curse to be single. It's not a curse to be single. It really isn't. It's a curse to be lonely. It's a curse to think that you have no tomorrow. That's what's bad. To be single is simply a transition state that we're in, right? Because I've often said being single is not being alone, right? There's so many individuals out there that can share their lives with you, that you can share experiences with, that you can enjoy. So create the life that you want. We're all about choice here. We're all about, moving forward in a way that suits you and the way that you want to do. Like when you make a transition, let's say into a new relationship, define that relationship as you want it to be. Do you want to get married again? Do you want to live with someone again? Do you want to date again, right? So it's making and creating that transition that works for you. And I want to talk a little bit more about this when we come back from the break. I want to talk about transition into living your best life. And then I want to talk about possibly thinking about a new partnership, right? A new way of thinking as you move forward into dating. And so that's going to be what we're going to talk about next when we come back. You guys are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is the Going Solo with Cece Show. This Going Solo with Cece Show has been around for a long time. We were going solo life after divorce. We were actually nominated for an award. Our show was at one time, so we're very proud of that. We are sponsored by goingsolocommunity.com and meettherightone.com. It's both of those are very exciting new communities. We hope that you'll join them. If you are interested in joining them, we're running a special on them. And so if you want, you can contact me on goingsolonetwork@gmail.com. I'll give you a code to get in. And they're new, so we don't have a lot of people in there, but the more we grow, the stronger we'll get and the more fun we're going to have. So just go to goingsolocommunity.com and meettherightone.com and check it out. So I am going to be right back. We're going to enjoy a little break here. You get a break from me. How about that? My kids would say, hallelujah. So we'll be right back, everyone. Stick around. Welcome back. You guys are listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. I am Cece Shatz. I'm the Doyenne of Relationship Building. I am a divorce, dating, and a life coach connecting singles throughout on our Going Solo Network. Check it out, goingsolonetwork.com. We've got all our different websites on there. Our show today is sponsored by goingsolocommunity.com and meettherightone.com. I am affiliated with both of those, and I am on those sites. So I hope that you will join me on those, and let's have a good time together. We're talking today about 12 ways to rebuild your life. And, we've been covering that here. We're going to talk this section about a couple of them that I left off, but let's recap real quick just in case you are coming into this a little bit late into it. The first thing is to allow yourself to grieve. And what that means is not only if you have a loss of a relationship, but to also a loss of what you thought your life was going to be, right? So often we think our lives are going to be a certain way. We move doing that path, and then we realize a shift happens, maybe a job change or something like that happens to you. So allow yourself to feel that pain of that loss, but don't dwell in it. Don't keep it there forever, and move forward, move through it. And one way you can do that is by journaling. Journal some of that, allow a release of that, some of the pain on the pages of paper that kind of move forward, and allows you to release that so that you can move forward in your life. Lean on good friends. They're there for you. Connect yourself with other like-minded individuals that are experiencing some of the things that you possibly are experiencing at this very moment, and that also helps you, and you help other people, and that really helps to move forward. Seek professional support if you need it. Get a coach or get a therapist, someone that can kind of help walk you through some of those things, be a sounding board for you. Then the reason you want to do that is because they're really one-on-one with you, right? That it's a really good thing to do. I've often said, even in my divorce support groups that I have, and they're groups, right? And so sometimes you might need that little one-on-one time to be able to help move you forward in life, really home in on what holding you back. And so a coach or a therapist, depending on what it is that you're trying to deal with, you might want to talk with one of them. Reinvent yourself. Really look at your roles and where you are and what you want to be, and think about what it is that you want in your future, and start moving towards that, looking at creating a new life for yourself, possibly education or whatever might need to do. But you want to think about your strengths, what your abilities are, what you like to do, what you're good at, what your friends say you're good at, those kind of things. You want to make new friends as you move forward into developing yourself, because we learn a lot from our friends. We also give a lot to our friends. And so you want to make new friends as you move forward. And, just remember that it's a transition for everyone. So friends come in and out of your life. I've often said, in order to be a good friend, in order to have a good friend, you need to be a good friend, right? In order to have a good friend, you have to be a good friend. So are you able to be a good friend with someone? And that also helps with learning how to build a relationship and commitment to other people. So friendships are very, very important with that. Get back in your groove, right? Really start setting a path for yourself, being able to work and move forward with that. Start getting a little bit of a routine together, start understanding what you like and you don't like, and start following that path. What we're going to talk about now, and we talked about baby steps, taking it a little slow, don't hurry, don't rush life. Enjoy it, savor it as we move forward. Get your finances together, start understanding those, get a little bit of control back, make your bucket list, but not only make your bucket list, but start experiencing your bucket list. Really start living through and doing that. And so the last two things we're going to talk about is celebrating being single and dating. Okay. So dating is starting to create a partnership, a union with someone else, and that's what we're thinking about. So celebrating being single. Let's just home in on that for just a minute. So often, we talked about it before, so often people feel like being single is not really a place that you should be, right? But the reality is, it's a transition place. It's a place for you to be able to start homing in on a person that's very important to you, and that's yourself. right? It's start understanding who you are and the kind of person that you want to be for someone. How can we date someone else? How can we have another partnership in our life? How can we have a union if we're not clear on who we are and what we want and our path that we want to go to, right? And so as we explore the possibility of dating someone, we have to start living our best life. We have to start bringing the joy into our lives. We have to start really understanding who we are, what we want, and where we want to go. And so allowing ourselves the time to be single, allowing ourselves that space in which to meditate in order to bring that peace from within as we move forward is vital to us. So often you hear people that go from relationship to relationship to relationship. You know, I probably have the t-shirt for that too, drawers full. But the reality is it you've got to know who you are and what you want in order to really move forward in your life. And that's with anything. It's not so allowing yourself the time and the space in which to really start, understanding your vibration and all of that is so vital for you. So don't look at being single as a bad place to be. Look at it as a place to really start understanding yourself and understanding the beauty that you have from within, right? Because we're all beautiful individuals, men and women. So this is a show for both men and women. So let's talk about, and we got a little bit of time left, let's talk about that dating, right? So we've been single for a while. We've been living our best life. We've been enjoying ourselves. We're starting to find out more about ourselves, understanding our core values and what is important. And we're starting thinking about what kind of person do we want in our lives? How do we want to share our lives and how do we want to share experiences of our lives? I think that is the biggest thing why people like to think about having a partnership is because they like to share experiences together. When we start feeling lonely, it's when we are not sharing experiences, right? And so that's why we want to create good friends in our lives because then we won't have that lost feeling that many do as they're single. Because you don't want to step into dating because you're lonely, right? You don't want to step in out of desperation, and most people don't feel that they're or think that they're desperate, right? But they're so lonely that they want to have someone in their lives. I remember talking to somebody one time and I said, "Why are you dating?" He says, "I'm so lonely." And it's like maybe you need to get a dog, not a girlfriend, because we're complicated. And when we become complicated, then you decide you don't want us anymore. Dogs are less complicated. So I'm just kidding. But I do think that if you want to have someone in your life, you got to know that there's ups and downs with it. You got to know that it's not all about you and it's about someone else. So are you ready to actually give your heart to someone else? Are you ready to think about, I want what's best for the other person, not always what's best for me? Are you ready to open the door and allow someone to fully step into your life? And if that person is stepping into your life, to what degree do you want them there? Because we don't always think about that. Do you want them to live with you? Do you want them to be there 24/7? Do you want them just on the weekend, right? So as we're moving forward dating, there's a lot more to it than just dating. It's building a relationship. So as you're moving forward into dating, think to yourself, I want to build a relationship. I want to start creating a transition in my life, a shift in my life where I'm creating a partnership. And then you have to think about what kind of partnership you want. Be very clear on what you want. And the reason you want to do that is because you're going to get exactly what you want. So as you move forward in life, your vibration is going to be there. You're going to create it, and other people are going to step into your world, right? And if they're stepping into your world and you're thinking, boy, I got a bunch of nutcases that are stepping in, what do they think? I've got a big L on my forehead as a loser, right? And you're thinking that, well, the reason being is because you're not at the plane that you need to be at. You're not clear in your understanding of where it is you want, what kind of person you want, what kind of relationship you want. So dating is about relationship building. That's what it's about. It's not just out there having fun and hooking up and doing whatever you want. There's sites for that. But if you truly want a relationship in your life, you've got to know what kind of relationship you want. I'm only saying this out of experience. I've dated too, and I've met some wonderful men that wanted to go headstrong into a relationship with me, and I just about fell over trying to get out of the way, right? Because I wasn't ready for it yet. When you are truly ready for a relationship, that's when you want to start dating. So people ask me all the time, so when should I start dating after a breakup of a relationship? Only when you are ready to build a new relationship. That's when you're ready, right? Meantime, make friends. Get into an environment like the community, Going Solo community, or there's other places out there where you can meet people and you can make friendships. Make friendships. Learn from those people. Learn from building relationships with friends, right? Not hookups, not sexual, but just friends, right? And we play too much. We put too much into the sexual act of maybe possibly dating or whatever. That's not what dating's about, right? Dating is about building a relationship with someone. And that can be all aspects of a relationship. And what a beautiful thing that is. So I'm going to close here today, and I want you to think about it. If you are ready to make that transition to move forward, right? If you're looking to rebuild your life, are you doing these steps that we're talking about? Have you gone through each one of these steps? And there's probably even more. If you Googled it, you probably see, right? I read all kinds of articles and do all of this stuff because I want to be the best that I can be, and I want to bring the best to you that I can do. But if you're thinking about making that transition into dating, right? Building a new relationship with someone, have a clear understanding what it is that you do want in your life. Because when it happens, and it will happen. Whatever you want to happen in your life, it will happen. Okay? So keep your vibration high, keep it moving, enjoy life, love life where you're at the very moment, because you know that's going to create a shift and you're going to move forward in a much more positive way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I am Cece Shatz. You're listening to Going Solo with Cece. We are here on the WGSN-DB Going Solo Network radio, TV, and podcast. I wanted to share with you, a lot of people ask me, what is this WGSN-DB? It is a registered, we're a licensed digital internet radio station. And so we're on 24/7, although we're revamping a little bit now. So we're down a little bit. That will be back up. But that is it. We are a internet radio station. And it stands for the West Coast of Florida. And then Going Solo Network -DB is digital broadcasting. So your questions are answered, and you guys can email me anytime. I love to hear from you. If you want the code to get into the Going Solo community and the Meet the Right One, you just email goingsolonetwork@gmail.com, and I'll give you that code. Make sure you put in the reference a code, and then in the body of the letter code, please tell me which site you want to get into, and I'll send you the code for that. You can get a couple of months free and check it out, see what you think, and we hope that you'll join us there and have a lot of fun. So again, you are listening to the Going Solo Network. This is the Going Solo Media. We have everything on. I am Cece Shatz. You can find me on anything Going Solo. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed today, and we'll catch you back here next time, next place. And I will see you later. Bye for now.